Hello, my girly girlies. Today, we are going to be chatting all about the confusion that comes with understanding, is it IBS? Is it a parasite? Is it Candida? What is going on? So, if you guys don't know me, my name is Laura Martin. I am the creator and founder of Healing to Happy, where I take a different approach to helping heal the gut. So, not about restrictions or eliminations or following the 4 R's. I have a different method called the free method. We're focusing on the gut-brain connection. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. Because today, I don't know about you, but are you eating, or do you feel like you're eating one thing one day, and then the next day you eat the same thing, and then it flares you up? Like, you're fine when you're eating it that one day, but then you have it the next, and you're like, what the heck is going on with my body? Right? Like, you get so overwhelmed and so defeated and so confused, and you don't know what's going on, and it's a hot mess, right? And it's just frustrating because then you go to a doctor, and what do they say? Everything's fine, eliminate gluten, dairy, soy, sugar, and you're like, I already did. What do I do now? So what I'm going to dive into today is more of how to identify what these ones are, not to self-diagnose, because you should always test, not guess. Let me remind you of that. But just walk you through them. And to get you a better idea of that, I want to tell you a little bit of a story about like how my whole thing happened. Okay, so I had always struggled with 1, depression since I was 13, and 2, IBS since I was, or constipation. Okay, we didn't have a name for it. It was constipation since I was young, like very, very young. And I remember my mom, she would like sit outside my bathroom and she would like sing this song, and she would like, whatever, try to get me to poop, because like your girl was not pooping. But this went on for like my life. Like, I thought that was normal until I got older, and it started to get worse. And it wasn't until I moved to Thailand and just got into like holistic practices and was just like, maybe I shouldn't be taking Miralax every day or Senna every day, or having to wake up an extra hour before work because I need to make sure that I had time to go to the bathroom. I was like, this isn't normal. Like, my friends don't talk about this, and like, it wasn't cool. It started to really affect just my confidence, my self-confidence. And, you know, it felt like it was a silent battle that I was fighting inside. Like, no one understood it because it wasn't something until later down the line, but it wasn't something that was outwardly noticed. And so I remember I would talk to my family, and they're like, you're just a picky eater. And like, my friends didn't understand why I was on a detox every other Sunday and like always prepping. And I was that girl at work that like, I'm not eating that. I read something. I remember my boyfriend walked out of the grocery store one time because I was busy reading all the labels. Because at this point, I didn't know what was going on. I was tested for different things. Like, no one knew really what was going on. So all my test results came back fine. So I got tested for Candida. I got tested for parasites. I got tested for SIBO. And so they didn't really, and so how these things work. So Candida is a bacterial overgrowth. Generally, this shows up if you have white phlegm at the back of your throat, okay? Don't go jumping on any of these cleanses just because you feel like you have them. Please, please, please make sure you are testing, not just guessing. Because if you do these cleanses, you're going to mess up your body just as I did for the longest amount of time, right? Like, if you're doing this stuff, it's just going to mayhem until you get it tested. So you want to make sure, 1, Candida. Naturally, we all have Candida inside of us, okay? This is why I don't condone Candida cleanses, but I digress. We all have a natural Candida with yeast inside of us. It's just the way it is. But it's when our stomach acid is low that it goes wild, because it is a hot and spicy place inside of us, my friends. It is dark, it is hot, it is moist, it is the perfect place for yeast to grow, which is why a lot of us get it in our vagina. You'll see like UTIs and stuff, and that's another sign of the gut imbalance. So Candida, all the yeast overgrowth, it just gets overpowered. But the reason I don't condone Candida cleanses is, why is the bacteria there to begin with? Okay, so we got to get to that thing. Next, we have, what did I get? Parasite. So testing naturally, if you eat fruits and vegetables, you probably got some parasites, okay? It's just the way it is. It's whatever. But again, it's when they go mayhem. It's when they latch onto different foods. It's when they don't have, they're in a breeding ground because there's no acid to kill the body. Okay, there's too much inflammation. There's not enough rest and digest going on. The body can't kill the parasites. Okay, we got 2. 3, SIBO. Again, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And so again, this is a breath test or a stool test. All my answers came back negative for all these, okay? But I still felt like crap. And it was going through the process of elimination. But at the same time, I made the silly mistake of doing all the cleanses for these things, even though I didn't have them, right? And so I made things worse. And so the doctors didn't know what was wrong with me. So they're like, it's IBS, it's you, right? Like, here's what it is. And like, even then I was like, what the heck is IBS? Irritable bowel syndrome. Like, yeah, that's everything I was feeling, but what's the solution? And they're like, oh, there isn't one. Really, here's some medications, or it's all in your head, or you just have to eliminate these different foods. I got so into eliminating these foods. Like, I was that girl that brought a smoothie jar to a birthday party, and I was like, I am fine, and like sipping my smoothie. I was not fine. It's not cool. Like, that's not life. But I was so afraid. Again, it was an internal battle. To me, I was like, no, I'm the health girl. Like, that was also my identity, and I clung to it hard. And like, that was a hard thing, because I also didn't trust my body to heal itself. Because what happened was, and what I showed over on Instagram is, I would feel okay. I would follow these 4 R's: remove, replace, reintroduce, repair, things that all the gut doctors and whatever were telling me to do. I was doing these like every other month, and my body kept coming back with vengeance. And if you don't know, go head over to my Instagram, shameless plug, Laura Martin _H2H. But actually, I'll just share it in the group later. But I was so stuck in this repeating it. And then like, I sat one time and I was like, if this is supposed to be working, why do I feel like such crap? And 2, why does it keep coming back with vengeance? Like, if it's supposed to be starving it out and healing, and these cleanses are supposed to be working, why it's not working? Like, something's broken. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I was following the thing to a friggin' T. Like, I eliminated 13 different food groups. I took the antibiotics. I did the cleanses and the detox and sugars. Well, like, I did it all. This teeny. Very frustrated, very anxious, very just not understanding. And so it wasn't until I started to apply this free method that I teach my girlies inside Gut Recharge. And I go more into this in a mini course that you guys can book a call. I put the link on this call to show up too. But it really is, it's like first getting the foundations, and then it's reprogramming the brain, and then it's exploring different options, and then it's evolving, right? So it's these different steps that were really truly missing in how they were approaching gut health with me. And it wasn't until I was sitting down with my naturopath one day, and she like looked at me, and I had been going to her for years. Penny, God bless. I've been going to her for years, trying to fix everything, and like really just stuck in that health hamster wheel. And every single time she's like, what, Laura? Like, just so many different cleanses, so many different homeopathic drugs. Like, oh my God, thousands of dollars, my friends, thousands of dollars, many trials, many years. And it wasn't until she finally sat me down in our last sessions, and she was like, she asked me this one question. Do you want to talk about how your depression is linked to your gut troubles? Yo, I was floored. I was like, what are you talking about? One, I was so used to being depressed that I did not know I was depressed. No joke. Did not know. And I was like, what are you talking about? And you look at my lifestyle, you look at the way I was perceiving the world, you look at the self-destruction I was on, you look how my eating disorder, like you look at it all. And she was like, yeah. And you also want to talk about how that's relating to your gut health. And I was like, whoa, what? And so this is when I went back and got specialized in the gut-brain connection, and like, thank goodness for this, and like linked arms with her to handle through that. And that's why I'm offering to link arms with you, so you don't have to do the trial and errors I did, and you can learn from my mistakes, and you can really just like have that freedom of understanding what's happening to your body, what's happening to your mind, what's happening to the world around you, and how to apply these methods without feeling so overwhelmed and so isolated and so confused. And like, why is one food fine one day, and then I have it the next, my body is, I'm on the floor crippled. It's like ball hand, you know, like right here, like, oh my God, it's so hard, right? And so what I learned about, and what I love to learn and teach, and what Gut Recharge is all about, is the gut-brain connection, right? And applying this free method. So it's not removing and all that kind of stuff, because food isn't the issue. Like, let me bring it back to when we were talking about Candida and SIBO and parasites. Those things just exist in your body. Like yeast exists, bacteria is trillions all over your body, and parasites in small doses, right? So the problem isn't that. The problem is something deeper, and that's what we dive into in this free training of what it is and how do we heal it. And the question you need to be asking is, why is it there? Okay, why is this there, and why is it causing such a flare in my body, and why it isn't food, right? Like if you could drink just water all the time, it probably works for a little bit, right? And then who here has woken up and was bloated by drinking water? Right? So it's not food, it's the body and why it can't rest and digest and get into this point. And so that comes from this unique method that I'm applying with my students that I really invite you to come check out. And if you guys want to dive deeper, I have the mini course. So you just have to click the link, and it's about an hour and 5 minutes, where it's honestly, I was gonna put this into my gut recharge program anyways. And so I figured, why not let you guys, it's like an overarch of what the free method is and how to apply it and all that kind of stuff. And so I was like, why not just give it to my girlies for free to drop in and really tune in and walk through it. And then I'll be putting that into the gut recharge program. And so I don't know how long I'll have it being free. It's just like a good insight and so helpful, especially as we dance into the holiday season and maybe you're feeling overwhelmed like stuff too, and you're like Googling like, what is this? And just overwhelmed with everything that's on there right now. I encourage you to go check that out. 60 minutes of your time, block it out, chunk it out. I'm there walking you with. You can ask your questions as we go through. And yeah, we have the whole support of me and my team and the people to help you like put together that roadmap, right? Like start making that roadmap and start taking those actual steps in the right steps, right? Like scatterbrain, deer in headlights, there's so much out there and so overwhelming, but please just like, if it's not working and the doctors keep giving you the same thing, or they're trying to give you more medications and it's just not your freaking jam, mine either. So go check that out and I will walk with you, dance with you, celebrate you through that. So I'm sending you so much love. My girlie is like so much love, and I'll chat with you soon. Happy healings.